First thing, exercise is very important, but it has to be individualized. Okay, it's not that everyone can do the same amount of exercises, because not everyone has been exercising from before, right? If you've been exercising from before, you can continue the same. But if you haven't been, I don't want you all to start the first day itself doing too rigorously. Okay, always listen to your body. If you feel you're exhausted and you're not able to do it, please take a break, right? Always do it initially, at least under guidance, till you know what you're supposed to do. That is one thing. Second thing, what are the contraindications where we do not advise exercise? There are very few, but since we know that all of you are safe to exercise, and that's why we've called you for the session. But in general, if you have a short cervix, or if you have medical disorders which are not controlled, like very high BPs, things like that, we don't want you to jump up and exercise. So if you develop any of that in the coming months also, please consult us before continuing your exercising. All right. Another very, very important thing that I want to stress on is the breathing. Okay, most of us, when we do it without guidance, we tend to hold our breath when we are exercising, which is totally wrong. Like Palak stressed, breathing is very, very important, right? So please learn how the breathing pattern has to be. If you have any doubts, you can clear it with Palak. We can have further sessions according to the weeks. We can group you all and have further sessions. Now, coming to labor, I know Palak showed you all a video, but I just want to brief you all that all of you are very close, right? All of you on the third trimester or 27 weeks around. In the next 3-4 months, you're due for your delivery. So what happens during labor is, at least in our hospital, at 36 weeks, we discuss a birth plan with you all, right? We do not go for a straightforward cesarean section unless there is an indication for us to, okay? And those indications will be discussed with you all. Otherwise, at 36 weeks, we sit, we discuss a detailed birth plan, right? What are the signs of labor, what you have to watch out for, and when you have to come to the hospital. What is very important is that the first phase of labor may be long for certain people, and we may not admit you very early, right? Because even if we admit you, we wouldn't be doing anything, right? So all this we discuss at 36 weeks. We have a birth plan for you, we discuss it. Another thing is that maybe we will arrange a few sessions for which you can attend as a couple, right? Because why we want that is, you need a partner with you during your labor. It doesn't have to be your husband specifically, it can be your mother, it can be your mother-in-law, it can be your sister, whoever you're comfortable with. Because one of the ways to get over pain is to have a support system, like someone who's with you. She will teach you breathing exercises, what have to be done during labor. So those, you and your husband or whoever is your partner at that point of time can help you do those exercises, and they will support you. The most important thing for a normal delivery is to be patient, okay? Because sometimes it may be prolonged. Second thing, the fear. A lot of people have a lot of fear and anxiety about vaginal birth. There is no need to fear, it's something physiological, okay? All women are, we are designed in such a way that we have the power to withstand the pain, right? And we can go through this phase effortlessly, right? Yeah, it is painful, but there are distraction techniques like breathing, and finally, if whatever techniques don't work, we also have the option of epidural in our hospital. Epidural or painless labor is what we call it. So you can avail that. So don't have the fear and anxiety of labor, right? The third thing is that, trust us, trust your doctors, because what we want finally after 9 months of journey is a healthy mother and a healthy baby, right? So we are there. We have a good nursing team, we have a good team of duty doctors and all of us who are here to support you and encourage you for a normal vaginal birth, right? It's all about being prepared, stamina, no fear, patience. These are 3 important things that you need to build up over the next few months. Keep talking to yourself that you can do this, okay? That is one thing. The final thing is that sometimes, in spite of everything that we do, there are certain scenarios where unfortunately we may have to do a cesarean, right? So be partially prepared for that also. It's not that we will straight away do it, but there are some cases where there is fetal distress, the baby's heartbeat is constantly falling, right? In such cases, we want a healthy baby, so we may end up with a cesarean also in certain cases, right? So it's not that you should not be disheartened in the last minute. That's what I'm trying to say. From your side, you do your best. From our side, we do our best, and we see that we have the best outcome, right? Finally, I think one doubt that many patients have is, doctor, what if I don't go into labor? What next? My due date is day after tomorrow, I haven't gone into labor. So these exercises actually help with the head going into the pelvis a little early and probably even pushing you into spontaneous labor. But sometimes, in spite of doing whatever, you may not go into, and that is when we have the option of induction of labor. That is, we induce labor pains. Alright, we put certain medications into your vagina, or depending upon how favorable you are, even just an IV drip, okay, and start the labor pains. So once you reach your 40 weeks, the whole pregnancy is 40 weeks. Your due date is when you complete your 40 weeks. We can wait 2 or 3 days more, but not beyond that. This is because as Indians, our babies are prone to pass meconium. Meconium is the motion the baby passes is meconium. That is why we don't wait beyond 40 weeks for too long. Okay, we have seen excellent results with induction of labor as well. So don't have that notion in your head that only if you go into spontaneous labor you're going to have a normal delivery, right? With induction also we have excellent results. So these are things that we discuss with you and your husband at 36 weeks. All right. So any of you have any doubts regarding labor or anything else? You can discuss it in the OPD also when you come for your consultation. Another important thing is, please give us your feedback. We will pass out some small papers after our dietitian speaks to you. Just give us your feedback on what you felt about this session, and do you want to have this on a regular basis, and accordingly we will plan things, and you can also communicate the same to Naseem. All right. Thank you. So now our final session will be with our dietitian.
So I'm dietitian here, Shayani. So just wanted to tell you a few tips about the diet. So I hope you all are doing fine, doing well. So I hope you're enjoying salads and fruit bowl also here. So as you all know, like the time of this pregnancy period, this nutrition is very important. So it should be included everything like as a balanced diet, as like more of proteins, carbohydrate, iron, vitamin, minerals, vitamin C, everything is required in that. So mostly to include that way, so like mostly whole grains and all, some few tips I'm telling. So whole grains you can include it. Rather having rice, you can go with some more of fiber rich food like millets or ragi or different millets, you can include it. Whole grains, dals and all, you can include it. Preferably seasonal fruits you can try, colorful fruits mostly. Your plate should be colorful like how you were enjoying that, like that way should be. Then junk food and all those should be avoided, mostly not frequently, sometimes occasionally if it is okay. And protein rich food obviously is important to baby growth, fetal growth, for that also. So those are non-vegetarian, they can include like chicken, fish, egg, that can be taken. Eggs can be taken daily basis. If you are vegetarian, then vegetarian sources of protein like dal, sprouts, different kind of dals can be used. Then millets also very good of protein, calcium and everything, so that can be included. Fruits, all the fruits recommended, so daily 2 serving of fruit should be there, but preferably as a whole fruits can be taken. And dry fruits and all also can be included, minimal amounts like as a handful, fistful nuts. Milk and milk products also should be consumed daily basis, like curd, so calcium requirement also double now. So as a source of that, milk, curd, dry fruits and all those. Then tofu, soya based also can be included. Try to drink plenty of fluid, at least in a day 2 to 3 liters water you should consume daily basis. And salty items, too much salty food and too much sugary items also preferably to be avoided. And too much salty food, pickles and peppers and all those also is not recommended regular basis. So mostly what happens, that calcium and iron absorption that hinders if you consume too much of that. So try to include healthy food, more of that. And try to eat, most important thing is small and frequent meals. Every 2-3 hour gap, smaller quantity frequently you should have it. And like exercise, how they said that daily basis you should do, how they explained palak. So same like that you can follow that one. And normal healthy diet, balanced diet, but diet should be obviously individualized, like as per body, like no height, weight, BMI, everything we calculate accordingly. But as per clinical conditions, everything decide, because some the time of pregnancy get gestational diabetes and all also. So as per the sugar consumptions and all to be reduced, but those are normal for those. They can include sugary things, but not more quantity of that. in like 2 teaspoons in a day recommendations normally. And deep fried food, oily stuff and all should be limited. Any oil you can use it monthly basis, but limitations in that way. Better you can keep on changing oil every 2 months once or 3 months once you can use. Ghee butter in moderations can be used, it no problem. And too much smell causes food also you can avoid, like if you added too much of onion, garlic or too much. Sometimes the first trimester many complaints about like nausea things and all, so preferably anything those triggers mostly kind of thing food, those you can limit it those, and try to eat healthy basis daily. Okay, if any doubts anything you can ask me.
I'm more concerned about the postpartum.
Okay.
Because traditionally, a lot of things are being told about what
Yeah,
to
yeah,
eat and what
better, yeah.
If you
So
could just guide regarding that.
yeah, so there is nothing, there are foods, fads and fallacies will be there, like you should not have the time of these time periods, you should not have. There's nothing as such like you should have ghee, so baby nourishment also good. Like there are certain kind of myths and fallacies are there, but it's nothing like that way you can include it. There are can be okay. So
I think that spicy food should be avoided because the same
Preferably.
gets in the breast milk and then the
yeah, that also we do tell, should not take too spicy food and all, so it should be less spicy, bland food type of, not too spicy that time period, because if you have it too spicy also baby also will get bloating. So that time period too spicy food at least for 3 to 6 months you can avoid it. Later on can be taken moderations, that only. Apart from that normally you can take, but if any doubts anything, so the time period when you will come for the admissions and all, we'll update you that time, or we'll give a diet chart.
We should prefer home food or we can have outside
Preferably home food only.
for a while.
Yeah, not outside really, regularly. Any other doubts anybody has? Any questions?
Is it something like people have this notion like if you have coconut water
Yeah.
at the end of a pregnancy, the kid gets cold or something?
No,
like
nothing like that, nothing like that. You
Or
should.
if you have lot of almonds, it's lot of heaty.
No, like that. But preferably when you are having buying any fruits or vegetables or anything, you can wash it with a salt water solution like brine solution. You can keep it for at least 5 to 10 minutes, then you can use it, because pesticides and all goes off if you leach it and with brine solution. That is helpful. Anything else? Anyone has doubt? I hope you are enjoying the salads, fruit. Any doubts? Any questions? No? Okay. All right. Thank you.
The feedback is really very important to us, because as I said rightly, what is required from your aspect is for us to know is very important. So please do mention your feedback, your names and your doctor's name, and thank you once again for coming on a Saturday morning, leaving your sleep and your beds, coming here for this session. Thank you once again. All the best for all of you. Thank you. Bye.